so ignorant. It's just the height of ignorance to me to have this D-list actress that nobody knew go over there. Her race is not discernible by the eye. If she walked in, you would never say Meghan Markle is a black woman.
I thought your analysis of this book was spot on. You've called Harry despicable for trying to trash the royal family's reputation and dragging them below even what the Kardashians would get up to.
And for her, Harry was just an entry ticket into all of those circles. Unfortunately, she found someone. She's not very intelligent. She's not very talented. Nobody in America was watching Suits. She was an actress that was living in Canada. And fortunately for her, and credit to her, she found someone that is dumber than her. And that's the
As her son, who, if you've seen a picture of, and you think that he has faced anti-black racism in his life, then I'm a Nigerian prince, and I have, an account that you can send some money into.
Give us like one strip of authenticity. She suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human. Meghan Markle, people have been wondering what it is that she's going to do, because when she first did her Spotify series, and I think that deal was $25 million, Spotify lived to regret it immediately. It was breathy. It was awful.
I think she's a malignant narcissist who is a truly terrible person.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I just think she's crying for sympathy, playing the victim.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
And there's also no sympathy to be granted for this lifestyle that she's chosen to live.
I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard.
Well, according to their tax documents, they work 1 hour a week.
After taking a break from taking a break, I guess, Meghan Markle is back, and she has released a new Netflix trailer. Now, just to give you the background of this, if you're wondering why she's doing this, it's because she kind of sold her soul to the devil. Obviously, she's always wanted to be an A-list actress. She never wanted to be a princess. I called out from the very beginning. She wanted to be amongst the A-list because that was her life goal.
I love being that busy.
Make it end. Make it end. What is this?
You're never going to convince anyone that you're authentic.
You're right. You're right.
Reality is she's a grifter. Fake it till you make it.
The Brits are onto you. America's onto you. The world at large is onto you.
I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard.
It's too much for me. There's only small doses of that podcast I can consume.
Meghan, how are you?
How are you?
I know you always make it about me.
What? Everything they do seems so manipulative, calculated, PR motivated, money motivated.
She wasn't a very good actress, and so she figured out how to maneuver that by marrying a prince who, the only way to say it is he's just not as intelligent as her. He's not reading it, and he has been subjected to her manipulation. And I do also want to say this because it's really important of why their story became so big, and her using the Black Lives Matter movement, which was very big at that time before people started to understand.
Is Meghan Markle's shiny new, no makeup, no filter image actually backfiring? The moment her tear-quivering clip from Jamie Kern Lima's podcast hit the web, critics pounced. They froze the frame, zoomed in, and declared what they saw, or rather didn't see, a single tear. Within hours, #CryFilter was trending.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
Also is pretending that she's crying. Like, we zoomed in just to see. There isn't a tear in sight. Look at this. Where's the tear?
Fueling whispers that the duchess-turned-brand-builder had once again misread the room. Yet the bigger story isn't just that one interview. It's the years-long tug-of-war between Meghan's carefully curated authenticity and a global audience that keeps calling cut.
Able to just be a human. I've never seen this sort of. I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity.
Every fresh relaunch, Spotify's ill-fated Archetypes, Netflix's much mocked with love. Meghan, the blink and you missed it American Riviera Orchard, seems to raise the same maddening question. Can she ever convince people she's real? Or is the performance baked into the brand? Jamie Kern Lima promised an unvarnished conversation. No glam squad, no script, just raw heart.
This is a joke, and I'm tired of some of these media outlets continuing to elevate this person.
Meghan, clad in a soft cashmere sweater and radiant Montecito backlighting, leaned into the mic, voice trembling as she read a letter she said she'd penned to her kids about finding your light. It should have been a PR slam dunk. Instead, frame-by-frame sleuths highlighted bone-dry cheekbones, a suspicious camera cut, and a slow-motion blink that read more soap opera signal than spontaneous emotion. Memes exploded. Photoshopped eye drops hovered over her face. TikTokers parodied acting 101 tutorials featuring the Duchess.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on.
She simultaneously plays the victim. My castle's too small. The queen is mean to me. They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore.
The clip that was meant to humanize her became a masterclass in perceived phoniness, and the backlash surged long after the podcast dropped. Conservative firebrand Candace Owens wasted zero time, blasting Meghan as a malignant narcissist who struggles to just be a human.
If you don't like her, it's not your fault. It's because she's extremely unlikable, okay? She has the non-it factor. She wants us to believe that she went from being a D-list actress to becoming Martha Stewart in 3 years. Like, this is totally authentic.
She is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself.
On her show, Owens rolled the now viral clip, slowed it down, and asked viewers to spot the missing tear. Then she delivered the gut punch.
I think I understand why it is she was a D-list actress, because she can't even act like herself.
Meghan's brand isn't failing because the media is cruel. It's failing because people hunger for authenticity, and they simply don't believe her. Owens' rant ricocheted through Twitter, sparking reaction videos that racked up millions of views in days.
Are you in love now more than ever?
Are you in love? How happy and beautiful is your husband?
To Owens, every shaky voice, every tremble, every wide-eyed, "I'm just like you" line felt choreographed. Her diagnosis? Meghan doesn't know how to drop the script, because the script is all she has. Owens opened the floodgates. Megyn Kelly resurfaced her own greatest hits, from the castle's too small jabs to claims that Meghan engineered a fairy tale marriage into a personal goldmine.
Over it. She's not important. She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled she became a, quote, princess.
Why do we have to be nice for a woman who clearly went over to get herself a prince, to bring him back, to give her access to this lifestyle that she would have never had?
Bill Simmons of Spotify's Ringer brand capped it off, labeling Meghan and Harry Epstein grifters, while lamenting how their $20 million podcast deal evaporated into a single season of limp conversations.
Enough for Bill Simmons over at the Ringer podcast, which was acquired by Spotify, to call Harry and Meghan, quote, a fucking grifter on his latest podcast. Here's what he had to say.
I wish I had been involved in the Meghan and Harry leave Spotify negotiation. The grifters. That's the podcast we should have launched with them.
Traditional outlets joined in. Variety called the Jamie Kern Lima interview eye-roll theater, while The Times likened Meghan's vulnerability tour to watching a luxury brand cosplay hardship. By week's end, it wasn't just Owens versus Meghan. It was a media chorus dissecting every unscripted sob and business stumble.
This makes her look greedy and shallow, and I think she's showing us exactly who she is and what her ultimate objective was all along.
Remember when Netflix swooped in as Meghan's creative salvation? Season 1 of With Love, Meghan promised cozy recipes, uplifting chats, and lifestyle inspo. Critics instead got ego trip TV, and audience scores tanked. Episode 3's DIY bath salt segment managed to go viral, but for all the wrong reasons. Maryland viewer Robin Patrick, diabetic and newly bandaged, claimed Meghan's Himalayan salt-laced concoction scorched her skin, threatening a $10 million lawsuit against the Duchess, Netflix, and the Archewell Foundation. Headlines shrieked, "From royalty to liability," while commentators smirked, "Even Gwyneth never got sued for that."
It was breathy. It was awful. I listened to one episode. It was just scripted nonsense. It was like, what are you doing?
If the show's ratings were lukewarm, the legal blowtorch made them icicle cold. Long before Bath Salt Gate, Spotify's Archetypes fizzled. Meghan's breathy tone and Hollywood guest list felt preachy, scripted, safe. Every episode promised real talk. Yet each chat ended in glossy platitudes. Internal leaks said Spotify execs grumbled the Duchess produced less content than a sleepy hobbyist.
She first did her Spotify series, and I think that deal was $25 million. Spotify lived to regret it immediately. Spotify, I think, ended up canceling the rest of their deal. There was no use. There was no money in it.
The reason it's failing is because it was just a horribly dull show.
She is shameless and she is exhausting. You are not a successful female entrepreneur.
As that deal died, American Riviera Orchard, Meghan's would-be Martha Stewart brand, appeared. Trademark filings teased jams, oils, linens, maybe dog treats, fans lined up for launch notifications. Then, silence. No store, no samples, nada. Detractors dubbed it Air Riviera Orchard, suggesting Meghan sold the fantasy of product before she had an actual product in hand. On Lima's podcast, Meghan spoke of her grueling workload, writing newsletter copy, planning social captions, scheduling photo shoots, all while being a devoted mom.
And she just talks about just what a incredible work ethic she has.
Writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions. What's the photography that we want to do? What do I want to wear for those shoots? And being a mom and a wife and a friend.
Work ethic must just be grueling. Writing social media captions, deciding what she's going to wear, being a mom.
Sounds busy until you stack it against Archewell's 2021 tax filings, showing the Sussexes logged roughly 1 hour of weekly work. Cue the memes.
Well, according to their tax documents, they work 1 hour a week.
Side-by-side shots of coal miners, next to Meghan drafting Instagram captions. The phrase "in the trenches" turned punchline.
One of the most privileged people on the planet, she still won't talk about how hardworking she is, which includes coming up with Instagram captions.
Viewers weren't mad that her life is cushy. They bristled at the insistence it's not. In PR, perception is everything, and Meghan's hardworking every woman angle keeps colliding with paparazzi snaps of polo matches, private jet hops, and a Montecito mansion bigger than most hotels. Owens, Kelly, and royal commentators like Kinsey Schofield argue there's a calculated pattern. When business flops, Meghan pivots to victim storytelling. Racism, tabloids, palace cruelty, then doubles back to capitalize on newfound sympathy.
You sold inventory that you didn't have on asever.com. People are still waiting for their refunds, when the reality is she's a grifter.
Early on, the strategy worked. Post-Oprah interview, her polling soared. Today, even supporters note fatigue. Whenever critics raise legitimate questions about American Riviera Orchard's missing inventory or Spotify's abrupt cancellation, defenders shout racism, deflecting scrutiny. The more the tactic repeats, the less persuasive it becomes.
I can list more fails on both of my hands. Where's American Riviera Orchard? What happened to Spotify?
To harsh detractors, it's not just tone deaf. It's manipulative, cashing in on genuine social issues to prop up personal brand equity. Despite the backlash, Netflix reportedly finished filming season 2 and quietly approved a season 3 pilot treatment. Rumor has it Harry's screen time plummets as Meghan takes full protagonist billing. Pundits read the move two ways. Netflix sunk too much money to bail, or execs believe hate-watching still counts as viewing hours. Either way, season 2 marks Meghan's solo audition. If ratings don't rebound, the streamer may treat season 3 as sunk cost scrap paper. Meanwhile, Harry is rumored to focus on his Africa travel doc, steering clear of lifestyle segments that served up last year's social media roasting. Meghan Markle's career now sits on a razor edge carved by authenticity, or the lack of it. She's a former actress who became an actual duchess, now acting out a duchess-turned-down-to-earth mogul role that millions deem as believable as a stage prop.
She's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
She said she was in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title.
Every failed tear, abandoned brand, or scrap deal stacks on the perception that the performance never ends. Yet there's a tantalizing what if hovering in the air. What if she really could drop the veneer, ditch the marketing buzzwords, and speak plain? Would her harshest critics soften, or has the window already slammed shut? One thing's certain, the more meticulously Meghan manufactures realness, the more ferocious the authenticity audit becomes. So viewers, here's the question that keeps PR teams up at night. What would it actually take for you to believe Meghan's finally showing the genuine article? Scroll down, hit the comments, and let's see if the Duchess can ever escape the role she scripted for herself.